So this is my Kymco People S200 scooter, and it's got about 19,000 kilometers on it, and it's due for a pad change on the front discs. So I'm going to cover off how to do this. It's a fairly simple job, doesn't take much effort, and I'll show you how it's done. First step is just give it a quick rub down with paper towels or a wash, and get the worst of the dirt off. Next step is undo the two bolts right here. It uses a 12 millimeter socket, and just undo them and take the bolts out. And take out the bolts. And just swing the assembly back, and there, it's off. And then we're ready to take the pads off. So a thing to note now that I've got the bolts out is they have this blue Loctite on there. So we're going to put that on before we put the bolts in. And now the pads just come out by fiddling with them. So the smaller one that's inside comes out first, and then that gives you enough space to get the other one on the outside. So this plate here is on a spring, and just push it down as hard as you can, and then you'll get just enough clearance to get that out. So I'm going to replace the plates with genuine Kymco ones. I got these online, relatively inexpensive, and just show you a comparison of the wear. So this one is right down to the wear line, so it had just a little bit of life left in it. And then the other one, it's gone past the wear line, so it's definitely due. Okay, now before I can go any farther, this is the piston, and it's sticking out just a little bit too far because the pads are worn. So I've got to push the piston in. Now make sure you never squeeze the brake lever until you have the whole thing back together, or you'll be in a real bad state. So I'm just going to push in with my fingers and attempt to get this to go back down. It's moving just a little bit. I can feel it moving. And you want to get it to go in as far as you can get it to make space for the new pads. And if you push your thumb right in the hole, you can get a better push at it. And now I've got it in all the way. Now I'll reverse the steps and put the plates back on. So I push down on the black plate as hard as I can. Get enough clearance to get the pad in. So there's the outside pad, and then you push the inside pad inside. And it's keyed so it will only fit one way. It's a little bit fiddly, but it will go in. Now I've got to make sure that this gap opens up big enough that it'll go over the disc plate. So I've just got to press a little bit harder and get that piston to go in the rest of the way. And now I've got just enough space to get it to go over the disc. Okay, so I've got it over the disc, and okay, now I'm going to put the bolts back in. So just scrub as much of the blue Loctite off as you can get, and I've got a bottle of it here, and just put a drop on each, and then put the bolt in. Last step is to torque down the bolts, and the manual says they go to 3.5 meters or 3.5 kilograms per meter. There, they're torqued. And now it's a matter of taking the bike for a test drive and making sure that the brakes work properly. So don't go at high speed until you've tested them and they're working properly.